Hello. Do you remember what it was like to be a hormonal teenager? I know I do. It was emotional. It was like a roller coaster. Everything changing and you didn't know what to do. It was a very confusing time. I remember in high school whenever all of my friends and people who weren't even my friends became sexually active. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I should become sexually active or if I shouldn't. It was a very challenging time. Now today I will be going over the fact that there is still a large amount of controversy over teenagers and taking birth control or using birth control in society today. My main points are going to go over the fact that teenagers will be sexually active with or without birth control, that teenage pregnancies have dropped in the past few years due to birth control, and that birth control can be a positive protection for our teenagers. Now, to start off with, keeping your teenagers from using birth control is not going to keep them from being sexually active. Some people believe that allowing them to take birth control is saying, okay, you can go have sex, but it's not. It's just giving them what they need to protect themselves. Now, according to LiveScience.com, in 2010, 42% of teenagers had been sexually active at least once in their life. 42%. We're talking about 15 to 19-year-old teenagers becoming sexually active. That is scary because that percentage is not just people who were on birth control or using birth control. This is including people who were not. So these teenagers are taking these chances because they're not allowed to use birth control. They're not provided the protection that they need. Now that I've went a little bit over how many teenagers are actually sexually active, which is a shocking report, I'm also going to go over how teen pregnancies have declined in the past years. Now, according to Tara Culp-Ressler, U.S. birth rates have dropped to a record low, down nearly 50% since 1991, according to the most recent data from the National Health Center for Health Statistics. 50%. And that is due to birth control and the things that teenagers were not allowed to have before, and now they are. Now I also have a chart here from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention website, and this shows just the past since 2000 to 2011, the amount of teenage pregnancies and how they have dropped for each race. This right here is a dramatic decrease considering we're talking about 11 years. 11 years, and it has dropped that much. In 11 years, a lot more has become accessible to teenagers. So we know that birth control has a positive effect. Now that I've went a little bit over the teen pregnancy and how much it has dropped, I mean, you need to think about the fact that teenagers becoming pregnant is scary. We're talking about 15 to 19-year-olds becoming parents. They're not financially stable. They won't even get to graduate high school most of the time, let alone college. So we need to think about that. Now I'm going to go a little bit over how birth control can help protect our teens. Now, most people believe that birth control is going to just make a teenager go crazy, but it's not. It's giving them protection. And according to Dr. Pickart, you do not have to agree or approve of your adolescent becoming sexually active to provide information about contraceptives. So we're not saying that you need to be okay with the fact that your teenager is sexually active. We're not saying that you should approve it. We're saying that you should prepare them and give them information to help protect them. These teenagers are going out and they are making this adult decision to become sexually active, and they're not even allowed to protect themselves. It's going to happen. It's happened for years. It happened, teenagers were having sex way before birth control was even invented. So we need to protect our teenagers and give them the right to protect themselves. Now, what I went over today was very important information about this topic, and basically I just went over the fact that teenagers are going to be sexually active with or without birth control, that teen pregnancies have decreased due to birth control, and that birth control can help protect our teenagers. Now, what I want to leave you with is that we need to stop living in denial and allow our teenagers to protect themselves. Now, the information that I gave you today came from livescience.com, from Tara Culp-Ressler's article, which was done in February of this year, from Dr. Pickard's article, and also from Center for Disease Control and Prevention's website. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you take this information and use it wisely.